Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to the beautiful empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in today on a great viewer question, and that was to explain a little bit more about the psychopathic approach to others and the boundary violation that can take place, especially when it seems like this individual, this person, this charming individual is your ally. They are your lover. They could be a close, intimate partner. And there had been so much charm, so much pleasure, so many good times that how could a boundary violation really take place, especially when it seems like they were involved with you for your best interest. So when we talk about boundary violations, we're talking about really a self-preservation. We're talking about a way for you to be able to say no when you are made uncomfortable. It's an ability to be respected and to have empathy and validation when things are going too far, when things are too high risk for you, when things are draining you, when you don't feel as if what you want matters, you're constantly putting it on the back burner. You're constantly putting it in the back seat. You're quietly remaining tight-lipped, and little by little, your boundaries, or really what you stand for in a balanced lifestyle way, becomes broken down. And the boundaries to a psychopath are nothing more than a win. So if they can get you to be uncomfortable, squirm, flinch, be afraid, be paranoid, or be enamored and attached with them, they are, in their predatory sense, feeling like they have a win on their hands. That is really all the psychopath is looking for. The antisocial personality disorder, who really does not have much in the way of feelings. They don't have much in the ways of bonding. They don't have much in the ways of attachment. They don't really have things that they really care about in terms of like larger things in the world, abstract values like freedom, fairness, being a good ethical worker, being a hard worker, living the American dream, or living for some sort of value or passion. It's really all about sequestering or repressing their boredom. They get very bored very easily with things just that are in the ordinary, and then based on their intelligence, based on how good looking or whatever it is, each individual is going to be different. But really what it's all about is just seeing the reactivity of others. It's really nothing more than that. They don't have any sort of heart, because really the heart is the seat of passion. It's the seat of your true, authentic values. It's the things, and then together coupled with, your neural networks that are combined with your prefrontal cortex, your ability to make judgment and to have a seat of morality, and kind of your pleasure centers, which are hormonally regulated, which aren't out of control. In other words, in the psychopath, they have an excessive sensitivity to dopamine. So which is the reward chemical. In other words, when you feel good about something, that is your dopamine. And when you have a positive mindset, that is your serotonin. So the psychopath, which is estimated to be about up to 4% of the population, so as you can imagine, 4 in every 100 people is a psychopath. I mean, those are the statistics. So when we look at these facts and figures, they can be in all areas of society. And so if you've encountered this type of individual who has broken down your boundaries, it is basically a win for them, which means they have a very sensitive mechanism to dopamine. So once they are enticed or have a target for something, they are rewarded by it. They have, they get rewarded for it right away. And then they also have what is felt to be known as a high testosterone level, which means, you know, they're just going for it regardless. And so they can be very aggressive and very adamant and very relentless on whatever it is that they want. So it causes these high risk behaviors, or their ability, which basically, or their type, it's an ability to feel nothing when they violate the boundaries of others. So in other words, where most people would feel some sort of pangs of wrong or remorse, or that's not right, or that's unethical, I'm not doing that, you have automatic emotional brakes on the car. These individuals do not have any emotional brakes. I mean, they're without a stop mechanism. And so you'll see them doing these odd high-risk behaviors that really stand out. But the issue is that they tend to then violate the boundaries of others, and people are just staring agape at them. In other words, they can have a certain aura about them, the look in their eyes, which is very seductive. It causes people to become charged or charmed or enticed or made kind of sort of emotional paralysis, where they're just sort of indulging in this person's aura or the energy or their gaze, because it's a predatory gaze. They have a different look in their eyes. A lot of people feel it can be very calming, anesthetizing, soothing, kind of like they're just, on cloud 57. They're just kind of like, they're almost zombie-like when they're around these people. And they can be very charming in the fact that they will get people to do what they want. And so they're able to cause or create a situation or a climate or relationships where people just are going to almost follow them blindly. In other words, they just get a lot of people on their sides. They get a lot of people to go along with what they want. And it's very hard to articulate the why, but it's a feeling that they are able to set up in the people with whom they're around. They can be very much a go-getter, or they can be very, have great leadership powers. In other words, they're able to rise the ranks in a relationship or get what they want in their profession very quickly through this sort of charisma that they tend to have. It's just they can have a facility with words with which most people do not have. And it's not just like that they're well-spoken or well-educated. They have a way to get people to violate their boundaries or basically go along with their wishes and their demands without really even knowing why or questioning it. So violation of boundaries basically means you're all of a sudden no longer aware of your yes or no. It becomes an all full throttle forward with them. You don't tend to question